What's up, guys? Today I want to talk about why people aren't showing up at your event. So many times I hear people say, but people just don't show up at events anymore, especially virtual ones. People are so tired of it, they're not doing it. But when we get down to the nitty-gritty, is it cool if I be honest with you today why they're really not showing up? And it might sting a little bit, so if that's not your jam, you can hop off the video before we get there. But a lot of times whenever I look at for my clients and for other people who I'm looking at their events, the reason that people aren't showing up for the event is because you just haven't gotten loud about it. Right? Whenever I help my clients, I spend so much time crafting the messaging and the marketing and the posts and all of that. And I work with affiliates and they're like, oh, just one email, that's good. Or if I just send one, or if I just post a couple times, or they're like, I'm doing everything I can do. And then I check their social media and they posted like 2 times and they didn't even use the thing that I made for them to post, right? And so one of the reasons, honestly, if we're going to get real honest, one of the reasons that people aren't showing up to your event is because you're not telling people about it. You're not getting loud about it, right? And if you, as a third party, take yourself out of your own head, as a third party, pretend like you're just going to your own social media or whatever it is that you're on and look around and say, you know what? Whenever I look at this, do people know that about my event at all? Have I posted about it? Have I said anything? And, how does it feel? How does it feel whenever I read these posts? Am I super excited about coming to that event or not? Because either you're not loud about it or you're not loud in the right way about it. So I'm going to say a couple things here, give you 3 things that you can think about that are possibly keeping you from getting loud, or some unconscious thoughts that are keeping you from getting loud or from getting loud in the right way about it. So, for example, one of the reasons that you might not be getting loud is because you're like, I don't want people to be bothered, right? And I've heard myself feel that before, I just don't want to bother people, or I don't want to spam my social media, or I don't want to, make people leave my list. I hear that so many times. I don't want to send too many emails to people because they might leave my list. They might get sick of hearing from me. One of my very, very first coaches, she's like, it was like her goal to get people off of her list. They're here because they want what I have, and if they don't want what I have, then they should get off my list, right? And so, I don't know, you don't have to think about it in that way, but that kind of comes back to talking about your event in the right way, right? So here's the thing. I think underlying all of these things is, are you excited about your own event? Are you excited about what it can offer for people? Do you really genuinely feel like you're delivering and you're transforming people with this event? Or is there part of you that's like, feeling kind of sleazy, like, oh no, I'm going to sell something at this event, or I don't know if it's good, or, if you have any kind of doubts or reservations going on, then that's going to keep you from really showing up and getting loud at your event. Or if you ask yourself deep down, why is it that you're doing this event and what can it really do for people, right? You're giving, for example, one of my current clients is doing PR and media, and she's giving people the opportunity to invest with, not only learn about PR and media during the event, learn some tactics and ways that you can avoid a lot of mistakes when doing your PR, and she's helping them get their message out. So she's magnifying other people's movements, helping them get their message out, but she's also giving them the opportunity to get millions of dollars worth in ad spend. So to really take the money, the marketing budget that they have, and leverage it in a way that's going to give them so much more results than if they'd gone to another PR company, because a lot of them aren't that great, and she has 25 years of experience. And if you go to an ad agency, there's just not that kind of ROI on ads. It's just not possible. So she's giving people this opportunity to really build their brand and have an amazing, beautiful brand that totally gets out there, right? And for you, your thing's going to be different. What is it that you're doing, right? You have a problem that you're solving, and people are suffering right now. They're sitting in their bathroom crying, they're praying, they're screaming out, asking for the solution that you have to offer them. And because we get so down on ourselves, sometimes we get stuck in our own head, oh my gosh, we don't want to bother them. Oh my goodness, what if we don't want to feel sleazy? We don't want to feel whatever, even the best Most successful people struggle with this, where you get into your own head about it. But I want you to remember that the thing that you are offering them is amazing, and you're offering them this transformation. So don't be afraid to bother them, right? You're out there to save them. And whenever you say it in the right way and you just really lead with value, and you're teaching and you're sharing a story during your post, which is the type of post that I write, is like, hey, let me tell you this cool story that's really gonna help you. Then at the end you're like, and if you want to learn more, come to the event. That's not that crazy. That's not that hard. They don't feel spam. They're just like, hey, I gave you some stuff. If you want to learn more about this, come to the event. It doesn't sound weird or spammy or anything like that. So go out there, market your event, get loud. Don't give yourself any excuses, and really dig deep to understand why is it that you aren't getting as loud as you know you need to be.